up, Streaks? I'm Artis, and I am joined by.
Hot legs. What underscore art? I know it's a very long name, but hello. You could just call me legs or Brie, whatever.
we
Yeah.
got a we got a fabulous Twitter artist, Bree. So
Hey.
why not? Like, you got the tiger and the lion discussing the bird. And I know a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people wanted my thoughts, especially my thoughts with the videos I've made in the past about Blitz, the victim blaming, and how Stolas is a terrible character. And I was willing to not backtrack, but reevaluate that video and maybe I thought it was fair on him, but maybe I should give it another go around and try to be a little gentler. No, because I was right. Fuck all y'all. My Blitz video aged like wine. I was fucking right.
Oh my goodness. I remember watching it. Like, everything I think mostly you pointed out was just pretty much hit the nail on the coffin.
I could
It's.
see. I saw the shit hitting the fan miles ago. Just like how I predicted the Millie stuff, how she was so
Oh.
underutilized. But in this episode, all the hype for this episode, the Stolitz, the fanning the flames, I feel like was so overhyped in the marketing itself because of majority from the clips from the trailer. It's all just this episode, but you didn't see the Cherubs. I love the idea of the Cherubs and DHORKS teaming up. That's cool. That's really cool. It didn't have to be part of this episode.
Yeah. it, Again, I couldn't really bring myself to really bother watching those sequences because it didn't really matter to like the main part of the episode. Number one, because it's not like I don't think it went hand in hand or some shit. You know,
Mm-mm.
like the cherubs weren't like displaying like emotions or scenarios that were similar to like Blitz and Stolas' shit going on, but it's. I don't even know. I don't care about the cherubs. And like the thing that like actually we call it. I actually have to look back because do they even still have their halos? I'm not sure
Oh,
why they
they
still
they
have their
do.
angelic features. Yeah, if they're kicked out of heaven, why did they still have like angel features and stuff? I don't like.
Eh.
Why not lose the wings or anything? I don't know. Like, just there's nothing visually interesting. I don't know. Storytelling doesn't make sense. But yeah,
All this
it's.
hype for the first 2 minutes of that duet song separately, and I like the song. I will say, art, animation, visuals, the voice
Mhm.
acting, especially at the end, everyone was pulling their A game. I this is the hard thing when it comes to critiquing a show like Helluva Boss, where visually the show's great. The show is amazing when you don't have the volume on. I'm sorry, just sometimes a writing, because when you really stop and think about some things, like I liked how in the beginning of the song Stolas admits that what kind of a monster would I be if I kept him as a prisoner, and I'm like, yeah, please, let's
Yeah.
dwell on that. That's interesting. Let's dive into that. But it's like, no, you want to give him the choice of choosing, but you aren't listening to him. You fucking hypocrite. And you're acting here like, oh, Blitz, I'm trying to be serious about my feelings, and all you think about it's just about sex. Oh
Oh,
my god. I wonder where he got the fucking impression that it was nothing but just about sex. Even if people want to argue that, oh, but character development, that was all in season 1 when he was all about sex. Season 2, the only time we've seen him with Western energy and the freaking repeat of seeing stars.
mhm.
How does he encourage Blitz when he has stage fright? Motivating him with sexy talk,
Yeah.
and the whole thing with Striker and torture. Oh, Blitz's knife is much deeper. Oh, it stabs you better. It's always been about cunnilingus with this fucker. So don't
Uh,
sit here and tell me it's never not a bit about sex. And Blitz has every right to be frustrated and to have yelled at him. And I am very proud of where Blitz is coming from. I'm very proud of him in this scene because he did not want to get thrown away again. Call it him feeling romantic feelings or it's repressed. Call it whatever you guys want. I personally don't see it that way, but I see it as him not wanting to get thrown away by another person because And because like with his history with like Verastica, Fizz, his own family getting pushed away and pushing others away, I was so happy in that moment to seeing him actually pursue like, no, you're gonna fucking hear me out. You're not gonna just toss me aside like your fucking butler imps. Like, yes,
Mhm.
oh, but Stolas like, oh, Blitz, I think so highly of you. I didn't think
But and does he like? Does he genuinely think so highly of him? Because every time he talks about Blitz, other than his dick or whatever, he just calls him like really degrading pet play names. It's really rude. That's
impish
no.
play impish plaything and just talk about his dick. It's like, do you even know the basics about him? Do you even know he loves horses? You don't know
Like
anything about him, and he doesn't know anything
I
about
think
you.
I think people kind of forget completely that like I think Solus again like has like he's just I don't like the fact that they're trying to play it off as he's like such a cute ulu. He's a little dumb boy or whatever. He's a grown man with a child. Number one, number two. Like I just like when he was a kid, it could be pushed aside of like, okay, he doesn't understand the hierarchy. He just wants friends. You know, he says some out of pocket like kind of rude shit of like, oh, is this one of your little imp games? It's like, okay, you didn't need to say it like that, but all right. But he keeps that mindset even when he's a grown ass man with a child, and you can clearly tell he doesn't really think of imps as other than like dumb little creatures. Because I think people kind of forget the throwaway line of the implication that he fucks other imps too. Like Blitz is not the only person he was cheating on Stella with, because she's like, "Oh, you're gonna fuck this one also." And he's like, "Oh, I didn't have time to get a hotel room." So he's just fucking around with other imps like it's a fetish. Like I just he doesn't
Mm,
care. He doesn't care about like imps and shit, clearly. And
like,
like what? A throwaway text going like, "How's your day?" is not enough. Like so that he doesn't show anything. He doesn't actually care. Like that's a one-off conversation.
like Stolas
Ah.
is really trying. Like in those text messages that damn near almost no one read or went too fast to acknowledge, that like
Mhm.
you're trying to get through his walls, but like it's not working. And clearly for Blitz, he just sees this as transactional, and he didn't think of it as anything deeper. So call it, oh, Blitz is just flabbergasted that anyone would love him. So it's like, why would Stolas love me and whatnot? And like, yeah, why would Stolas love him? Not
Mhm.
beyond the whole like trauma with love and like being pushed away and whatnot and pushing others away. But like, no, why would he love me? We literally don't know that much about each other.
Literally.
We don't hang
It's
out. We don't talk. I don't voluntarily talk to him. So, like, even at Aussie's, they had such an awkward time at Aussie's with that so-called date. Nah, 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 nah.
it's just
Is
like
Blitz just meant to settle because Stolas likes him? No.
I I think that's the implication that it's gonna go for in the
No,
story.
no, no. He deserves someone who respects him. Like, if they want to stay as fuck buddies, I don't care at that point. But
Mhm,
no, relationship romance wise, they don't know anything about each other. They've been doing this deal for like months, probably like a whole year now. Who knows how time works in this universe? But
mhm.
enough time has passed where they still don't even know the basics about each other.
Yeah. Oh god.
And
I
making
just
them childhood friends didn't help because there was a 25-year gap where they never talked. Ugh.
like like okay, like Blitz is like in the wrong in terms of like he kind of was semi stringing Stulse along mainly
Mhm.
because he needed the book or whatever,
Mhm.
but like it still doesn't like it doesn't it's not as worse as what Stolas is doing to him, whether intentionally or not. Of like it's literally just guilt tripping. The only reason he like gets like fucks him the first time is literally because like fucking Stolas goes, "Oh, my one true friend came over." It's like shut up. Like he just feels
Ugh.
guilty, so that it's a pity fuck. He doesn't actually like him. And I don't really understand in the show. I can't really pinpoint other like because even the scene where like still where Blitz is like like I know it's just about sex. You make it about it all the time, and starts like crying or whatever. It's like, where did that come from? Like huh?
Who
Every
made the deal?
interaction they've had, yeah, like
Hmm.
every interaction they've had, Blitz hasn't really shown he doesn't care like about Stolas in that way anyway.
And
So I
even
don't
go
know where that came from.
and Stolas himself having to recognize this, like at the end of Ozzy's flipping, or like at the beginning of wherever the hell that was, I think towards the end of
Yeah.
season 1, he was going through his phone and seeing pictures of the pictures he took of him and Blitz. Like,
Hmm.
oh, he's not interested. He's very disinterested. I wonder why. It's just to him at the moment, it's just business. Like this
Yeah.
could have worked. The frustrating thing is like the whole Stolitz thing. It could have worked. It could have been like a I see why they where they wanted to go with a toxic romance, but this is an unhealthy toxic romance in in the worst way, not in a good way. This is just giving
Yeah.
all angst and no comfort.
It's gross. It just feels gross. And I don't like the direction it's going because it is victim blaming of like we call it.
Yes.
They're pushing Blitz in the corner where it's like a end or be all. Like either be lonely for the rest of your life because even your fucking adopted daughter is a piece of shit, doesn't like you. Like no
Mhm.
one loves him. Like no one cares about him. Like genuinely, I don't understand. Like he's not that much of a like an ass, is he? Like he's a fucking freak or whatever at some degree. But Jesus Christ, the only person he's like so genuinely sweet to doesn't give a shit about him. So it's like
At
he
least for
doesn't have any.
now, at least for now, he's on better terms with Fizzaroli. So I'm hoping
Yeah.
an apology tour that him and Verosika can make amends because I'm very curious of like the whole falling out between them. And okay, justice for Verosika. She has every right to be mad. It's more than just sex. Okay, that's Stolas, guys. I saw someone talking about how like why is Verosika here? She get over yourself. He ate you out poorly one time. Get over it. He literally stole from her and spent all of her money. What are you guys on about? Do we watch? I legit do worry if people are omitting truths from like the show because it could either blatantly tell us what happened or it's something is heavily implied and it's just not acknowledging it.
That I mean, honestly, the like some of the fans and the show itself doesn't really treat female characters like with as much as respect as they do with the male characters. So I mean, it's
Mhm.
not that shocking. People are like, ah, whatever. Same like, especially like with Stella, for instance, like shit like that. It's just. Or even people with like Octavia, it's like, are you serious? Like having the gall to be like, oh, she's a cockblocker. Oh, she's trying to get at her daddy's way. It's like, are you serious? No, she she has every right to be upset. She's literally watching her life crumble before her fucking eyes, and her dad's openly cheating without any sense of remorse. Like every scene you see them with, it's just so sad. Like Octavia just looks so fucking depressed. Like I just want my dad's basic attention, but he literally seems to get off more, like yelling at Stella and shit rather than caring about his daughter. Just because you see one like sudden clip of, oh my god, Via, I understand now, and then goes back to square one like nothing. Like, are you serious?
Oh, it's so infuriating, especially how Stolas keeps hinging his entire happiness onto Blitz, and it's not fair to Blitz. Like Blitz has no obligation to be his rescuer, his savior. And like, okay, I get it. Stolas was in a bad situation as a kid. His whole life was dictated. He was forced to marry a woman he didn't love. The woman also didn't love him either, and she was forced to carry a child she didn't want, but whatever. No one ever wants to acknowledge that, but okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Stolas, boohoo, crybaby backstory. He takes antidepressants. Sad.
Mhm.
But at the same time, now like he seems to be happy. His only source of joy from that marriage in the positive that came out of that all that negative was his daughter. His daughter that he was too young to really be prepared for, but he still seemed to be very happy having a child of his own. So I just
Mhm.
get so mad when he hinges his entire happiness onto a random imp rather than even considering his daughter. And I understand grown man has needs. I get that. But you're forgetting your daughter. Like I am now Via has every right to even be fearful that you would leave her for Blitz. Come on.
Mhm. It's It looks like that she might have a song or something of her own, but
Ooh.
I mean, I think that from what I think I saw in the trailer, where she was like standing in that giant room, it looked like she was singing, maybe, but I'm not sure.
Oh, oh, I hope so.
It's uh, it's just so sad. I don't know, like God, I wish they gave more like fucking what do you call it?
Depth?
Like anything, any yes, literally anything, because they like turn Stella into a one note like villain or whatever. But when like you hear like when we try to explain like why we're upset about how like Stella is like treated in the show in terms of like
Mhm.
her attitude and shit, people
Mhm.
automatically are going, "Oh, you're defending, her abuse." It's like her abusing him. It's like, no, no, we're not. But like she could have been interesting to some degree of like I don't know, maybe if we saw some flashbacks about how they actually like their dynamic and shit,
Mhm.
raising Vera, other than just like go watch her or whatever, like something I don't know,
Right.
something
In my
like
video when in my video talking about like Stella's wasted potential, I made it very clear that I don't want her to be redeemed. I just want to know what her
yeah.
story would have been or could have been because she has the makings of could have been a very interesting villain, just like how Stolas could have been, but whatever. Like
Mhm.
for Stella, she could have been like the mother Gothel to Via, like manipulating Via and making her and reassuring her that like, see, daddy doesn't love you. All daddy cares about is that imp. And like so that way she could get the assets.
Yeah, I kind of completely forgot about the idea of like what do you call it? It like they don't know what the fuck to do. I think what we'll call it like where they wanted to like assassinate Stolas. Like,
Uh-huh.
oh, we're gonna get all his shit. I guess. I just like okay then like maybe like the plan might be to turn Octavia against him or some shit. I don't know because she's a Croatia. I
That
don't
really
know.
that really should have been plan A. Like I love the idea of Stryker like killing Stolas. Sure, why not? But like that really
Mhm.
should have been plan A considering all of his assets would be going to his daughter, next of kin, and not Stella.
Yeah. But they made her a dumbass, and she's like, "Huh? Oh, never mind. I didn't think about that. I just wanted to be mean because I like being mean." I'm like, "Oh,
I just wanted him dead. Not because my reputation's on the line, not because he embarrassed me, not because he's publicly cheating on me with a lower class filth. I just want him dead because.
God, ugh,
Ooh,
ugh."
girl. Possibly being manipulated by her own brother, but girl.
I think I was thinking about like a possible like story a bit of like I don't know, like, because I know they're both forced into it, and she's clearly like a fucking deranged child or whatever back then. But like,
Hmm.
like I don't know, maybe it would have been because like it genuinely, when you think about it, why does she give a shit about like him cheating on her or whatever? Other than like it's with like, is it really just because it was with like essentially a poor person, kind of, and that's kind of it? Because it's like you can't have it both ways of like, oh, I just like to be mean, because funny, versus like I'm genuinely upset. Why would you do such a thing? She doesn't really care. She shouldn't really have the incentive to care with the way that they made her character. But
Hmm.
like, it would have made more sense of like, I don't know, maybe they did at some point have a smidgen of affection to each other, just a little bit, like besides keeping up appearances. I don't know, maybe something. But like like it just seems like from the start they just genuinely never cared. Like so I'm just imagining their home life. Like was it literally just dead silence or screaming at each other
Well,
from the start since
from
Fia
what
was born?
from what Octavia seems to claim, and from the portraits, she's definitely in
Yeah.
those pictures more so with her dad's one on one, and like they take typical family portraits and whatnot, but that could be like a faking it kind of thing too. And like
Yeah.
Lululand, Via says how like things were fine until like you messed it all up, so it's blaming Stolas for messing it all up. So either I don't I don't think she wasn't aware that their family had issues because like kids can be very we can give kids enough credit of like how aware they can be when it comes to like issues of the family and such.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's something as obvious as like the yelling, so it must be something recent.
It's just, yeah. The show tries to treat Stolas like he's like, like a naive little guy or whatever.
Like,
No, he's not.
oh,
He's a grown man
he's a
with a
grown
child that he
man.
needs to take care of that he doesn't seem to think of really until the last minute. Like, oh fuck, I have a daughter. Right, shit. Like, whoopsie,
He's a,
completely forgot.
he's a grown man that keeps taking bubble baths, stank ass
Uh,
feathers.
he's just been primped and pampered to a degree since he was younger, and he never grew out of that phase. Regardless if he was like his dad was a bitch to him, like still
And what hurts
he got
most is like,
everything.
oh,
Yeah.
oh sorry, finish.
Sorry, sorry. No, it's all good. You could go.
I was gonna say what hurts most is like Stolas had the makings of being like an empathetic royal. Like if he actually showed to give a shit about other imps and an interest, an actual genuine interest of imps, and if his family was discouraging because it's like, no, that's the filth, that's the commoners. We don't associate with them unless we pay them to do it. So it's like and how he treats his little imp butler, I think his name is like Pringles or something. The poor thing is just so tattered up.
Like, yeah, again, it's like he clearly doesn't see imps as anything other than just like, lesser than. So I don't understand where this idea of like I think so highly of you comes from because that's complete bullshit. It's not like they ever had a scenario where Stolz is like asking about like Blitz's profession, and learning about the business and going, "Oh my god, wow, like you really worked so hard to get to where you are. That's so cool." Nothing. Nothing.
At
Like none
most,
of that.
at most, Stolas Blitz is able to make Blitz is able to make Stolas laugh. I feel like that's bottom tier minimum stuff, dude.
It's it's just a mess. It's such a mess. Like I can't like I feel like the show has a weird like fucking boner for like just torturing Blitz mentally for some reason. I don't understand.
I know Blitz is not the best, and he's definitely has had his own fair share of fuck ups. But I feel like character development wise, if they stop pedaling backwards on the Moxie like abuse, he
Mhm.
has the makings of being a fine character.
Yeah, because what do you call it? I keep forgetting there's also like other stuff that's in that trailer of like it's gonna be more Blitz torture shit. Of oh my god, he might be seeing his dead mother type of shit. It's like, oh god, here we
Oh
go.
no,
I
no!
forgot
Hasn't he
about
suffered
that.
enough? He lost his sister. He lost his best friend. He lost his hot pop star ex. Why? And he's losing his job.
Ugh. Like people are misinterpreting. I think that scene from the new episode of like, oh, like I could do better. I could fuck you better. It's like it's sad. It's a really sad desperation, and it's not nothing to do with like at least like whoever's writing it. Trying to say it's otherwise. Like no, it's showing right now that he does care about Stolas. No, he doesn't.
No, it's
Like the
look,
only reason
look.
is this. Like yeah, he's literally just being that desperate because he's like, oh my god, I need this, like a business or whatever. Like Stokes is not like the bigger person in this situation as much as they're trying to portray that he is. Like I'm releasing you, Blitzy. I,
Like
I I set you free. It's like what
Like
the fuck?
honestly, Stolas should not have started out with taking the book away because duh. That's like
Mhm.
his whole career and livelihood depends on having that book and access to the human realm. And it just broke my heart seeing Blitz like lowering himself, like presenting himself as whatever he needs to be in order to keep that book. But and then when Stolas brings out that crystal, it's like you should have led with that. You like come on. You manipulative little maybe it wasn't purposely manipulative, but he's so dumb. They're both so dumb, but Stolas is dumbassery makes it feel a little manipulative.
I just feel gross of like, because now in the apology tour, like I guess snippets, it looks like Stolas is gonna be a massive bitch to him out of nowhere. Like, why? It's not deserved. He doesn't deserve that. Like, okay, sure. In the fucking instance where the first time they're meeting in like 20 years or whatever, first of all, people just kind of forget major things of, Stolas was drinking, he's intoxicated, he locked the door behind them. And, the major red flag, why is the first thing you think that Blitz is there for? To fuck you.
That's what
That's
I'm
weird.
saying.
That's funny. Like, that's like, but they play it off as like it's a funny, goofy. It's like, no, that's really uncomfortable. What the fuck? That's really weird. Even Blitz going, ew, what? Like, I just don't get it. Like, okay, sure. It's not great that, like, Blitz, like, pretended to be into it. But again, from the start, their whole like back and forth is literally just the book or stealing shit, and that's it. Like Blitz doesn't care about him. Like the first instance as kids, like that's just because the dad was pressuring him to to do all that shit, you know.
Buying him
And
into child slavery. Let's not mince words here. I'm sick of everyone acting like
yeah,
it wasn't slavery. There's no slavery imagery in either of these shows. What do you think? The overlords literally own people. The
yeah,
chains, the fucking buying a kid. Oh my gosh, it's slavery. Like I could
uh,
argue that the hellhounds are technically slaves or indentured servants at best.
yeah. The implication of like the fucking pound is like horrific when you think
It's
about it.
like it's like, do y'all want this show to be mature and try to tackle mature topics, or do you just want to keep woobifying and downplaying all the serious shit?
Oh god, it's just and it sucks because you like you can't really have conversations about shit like this because a large portion, I guess, of like the fans to a degree really like they dismiss it so hard with like, well, if you don't like it, then don't watch it. Like the only reason I'm this upset is because you have the potential laid out for you to be such like a really deep show and have all these like really important like messages and shit, but you just
Mm,
throw it out the window for some yaoi shit. Like some, it literally feels like a Wattpad fanfic. Like as much as a stab that sounds, like it just feels like that. It's so
it's
poorly executed.
it's very much giving like first draft. Like the cherubs feel more like the A plot when they should have been the B plot. They should have just not been in this episode altogether.
Literally, like they didn't need to be there. It's like there was no reason. But like, oh, we need to bring them back because I forgot about them. I just, I don't know.
Oh,
Wacky hijinks.
they've been gone. Them and Dorks have been gone for so long. If they came back to, actually, that would have been a really great way to do a season 2 final stinger of them preluding of their return for season 3 at least. Because how interesting would it have been if Blitz and IMP are stuck on Earth for whatever reason, since they're going to be on Earth again for that Ghostbuster-esque episode in October, and the Cherubs could come across them that way.
Mm.
Dorks. Like
But
make
the show would never do really anything that interesting. They're not going to tackle anything that crazy of an idea. They
it
need to
could
keep
have
it simple for the
it could
little dumb brains.
that's what I'm so I don't have a hatred for the show at this point. I'm not hate watching. If I sincerely have no interest, then I wouldn't be watching or even talking about it in the first place. But because I'm so invested and because I do enjoy these characters, and at this point, I'm just here for the ride. I am very curious to see where it goes. And if people don't want to hear the critical analysis or critical thinking about it and want to keep disguising it as hate, you don't have to stay. Hey, the show, why are you watching it? Why are you fucking watching me since you clearly don't like to think critically? I've had Stolas fans come in my comments. I've had the fans who love Stolas and even they're willing to admit, yeah, this is a big backward step for him. It's like, why is it they can understand and think critically, but some people are just so rabid that they just can't admit that their perfect show has flaws.
It's like, okay, I don't want this to come off like one way or the other, because like I've already meant like explained this multiple time on like my Twitter and shit. Of like, okay, I'm not. Okay, I'm not trying to jump on like the oh Viv is it whatever train, because
Mhm.
I don't know her. I have no right to like judge her for like outside of her shit. But again, unfortunately, her actions, unfortunately, regardless if it's intentional or not, of the way she conducts herself when it comes to this type of critiques, unfortunately cultivated a large portion of like her fans to react the same way that she does, with spite and like and quick aggression, like an extreme dismissal, and it's really upsetting that I like I want to enjoy these shows, but just seeing how the creator behaves herself, like when it comes to this shit, just makes it worse. It makes it so hard to try and like support anything here, because
I
like you create like she like unfortunately like they've created a space where you really can't voice how you're actually feeling about anything without people up in your throats going, "Ash!" you know, because that's how she reacts, unfortunately. And they're just taking, like, note of it and copying it. It's sad.
I
It's
really
just really.
wish people just stop like kind of on a obsessive level of stalking her likes to low key confirm their thoughts and opinions of stuff. Like they see Viv like something of like Stolas this, Blitz that, and thinking, oh, it's gonna be confirmed. It's confirmed. It's like chill. Can we chill out? I'm I have nothing against like a creator wanting to like engage with the fan base, but like to this heavily degree is not good.
It's like, it's not even just the interaction, it's just the way that they're interacting is just not appropriate for, especially like her age. Like, I'm sorry, but you don't have the excuse that this, like, you're 13 years old and you're on Tumblr and you're just quickly reacting because you can. Because, how dare someone like say anything remotely negative about something you worked hard on? Because I get it, like, it's a stab in like the chest
Yeah.
of like, you care about your own character so much, and just to hear someone like have an opposing view, like, it sucks. But she's 30 plus, like, isn't she 30 years old? Like, you have no reason to be reacting the way that you do. It's really disheartening in the end of it. Like, it's really just sad. Like, it's incredibly just disappointing watching this like go down, because and people like try to like pull it out of their ass that, oh, you're just saying that this doesn't happen. No, I'm literally witnessing it. It's not just with stupid screenshots. I'm watching it live in front of my eyes of how they're talking. Like, it's not just like obscure Discord messages that could be like askewed or whatever. Like, no, I'm watching how they currently are behaving in front of my eyes. And this pattern happens so often that people just kind of like push it aside of, oh, well, whatever. It's like, no, they have no reason to be reacting the way that they do. Like, okay, if someone doesn't like your show in a certain way or whatever, there's no reason you should spend your time making threads and threads about how wrong they are. That, or if they don't say anything, she just likes tweets that are passive aggressive as hell towards other fans that have opposing views. It's really shit. Like, no. Like, why would you conduct yourself this way? Like, what happens? Just like shut your mouth. Like, stop it. If someone doesn't like your show, you don't need to respond to every single comment or every single troll that's clearly a troll. You've unfortunately muddled like people's opinions that likes your show into like, oh, fans, like, we'll call it
Mm.
critique, actual critique, versus like people are just trying to be an ass, and
Hmm.
mushing them together. And like, again, I can understand why she would react the way she does, because I'm sure she gets DMs here like very often, or like tagged in like, every day, like, oh, your show sucks, and shit like that. I'm sure that's really stressful. That's
Yeah.
really annoying. But still, like, she needs to learn to step away and to not just jump in on it. Like, just calm down. Like, you don't need to react to it. This is why you have trolls, because you keep reacting. Like, stop it. Just take a breather and walk away for a second. But they don't. It's
I
really
really
bad.
think I don't want to like dwell too much on Viv herself, but
Yeah.
I do think she would largely benefit from like a social media manager to help manage her accounts, because like,
Yeah.
'cause, yeah, the amount of shit that like is thrown her way, especially the unwarranted stuff that's not valid
Mhm.
criticism, yeah, it's definitely overwhelming. It's definitely just not good.
Yeah. It's just a mess. In the end of it, it's just a big old mess. But yeah, like, I back to like the Stola stuff. I don't really know where it's like I have a feeling where it's gonna go from here. I don't like it, but I
I
just
just
don't
wish
know.
they had an actual conversation, like, because even the so-called conversation Stolas tried to have with Blitz, and just, okay, I got my answer, goodbye, you're dismissed. Like, no, 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 no. And even then, that's still the imbalance of the power dynamic they have here. Yes, Blitz and Stolas both aren't good people, but I'm sorry, I'm biased. I am very biased. Eat the rich. I don't give a shit. This rich pompous asshole, especially if they're not even, it's not even a good attempt to make him an empathetic rich guy, because like it is possible to make a wealthy character who's like willfully, there's like a willfully ignorant character who's wealthy and just doesn't understand the outside world and the outside world problems outside their own perspective. Like if they gave him that to make him a bit more empathetic and actually give a care about imps, that would have been good, would have been great. That didn't happen, so I want put him on a fire, spit roast this bird. I do not care. It has never been such a good day to be a Stolas hater. uh,
uh, it, it's just it's gross. It's gross. I just the way that like they fucked up his character so like poorly is just. I used to be like a fan of this ship of like, oh, it would have been like cute, like yeah, fuck Stella, like let them be happy. But it's like, damn, no, like this is
it,
so wrong. Like
I
if it wasn't for the freaking childhood episode, I feel like it still would have been okay to a degree, to a semi degree. But like establishing the relationship from way back then being
it
like even
and,
worse
and
is
it doesn't even matter if they met as kids. They could have still first met with the whole Blitz breaking in and such. Like maybe he heard about how a
yeah,
Goetia, oh, he has a magical book that can go to the human world, and that's how he can like do it. Because it's like them having no. It's not like they did anything in those 25 years of being apart. Blitz didn't give a
yeah.
care. And neither did Stolas enough until someone came back into his life. It's like, not for you, for the book. He was there on business for the book. And if I really wish he'd tied up his mouth, because if he didn't say anything, Blitz would have just left. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah. It's so like I really can't tell what the hell they're trying to like make Stolas out to be. Like, is he genuinely like a manipulative person on purpose, or is he literally that dumb that he doesn't understand that he's guilt tripping somebody
He must
so
be. He
hard?
must be. Because with Stolas, it reminds me a lot of like, okay, this Netflix show called Dragon Age Absolution, based on like a game of the same name, where it's a
Mhm.
very similar situation to Stolitz, but there's this rich prince, like hierarchy guy, who and they call them slaves, who had like dark elves as slaves, and they grew up together as kids, and he always saw them not as slaves but as like his family, as his like brothers and sisters. But he saw how they got
Mhm.
mistreated, and he didn't like that. So when there was twins of them, and when the girl twin left and came back, and she only came back to see if she can rescue like her brother or help whatever is going on in the kingdom for her people, the guy is still fucking delusional, and like thinks that like, oh, my family came back, and she's like, no, I'm not your fucking family, I was your slave, your mother mistreated me and my brother, he like, my brother's my actual brother, you are not my brother. And in the end, you know what happened? They didn't become a happy family. Spoilers, it's a really good series, has some great
Mhm.
queers in it. I saw him actually go ballistic and actually attempt to kill her and recognize, yeah, you're right, you are a slave, so I will treat you as a slave should be treated. something like that.
Yeah.
The narrative did it so much better. It was like 6 episodes, so good. But yeah, that's the kind of route I was hoping they could have gone with Stolas.
God.
Uh,
Like they really like I just like they're trying like I don't like are they really trying to make it out that Stolas is the bad person at all in any scenario? I don't really think so because they keep throwing more shit at like at the wall of like oh but and Stella is mean to him. He had a really bad dad.
he's going through a
Like everything
divorce.
just anything for you to make him like make you feel bad about him. Anything. Like they just keep adding more shit as if like it justifies any of his actions whatsoever. Like no, that's not how it works. Like and someone like pointed out like just because you write your fucking abuser character to have a shit like a sad backstory and like oh what was me doesn't make them like a good person or a sympathetic character in any like capacity. He's not
Right.
a good person no matter how quote unquote like no matter how nice he was to like his own daughter or whatever when she was a child. He doesn't act that way when she's in like within her teens. He doesn't care. Like,
He's n-
and he's just as like stupidly naive as like yeah, he still is. Cause I can't get over like the fact that like he he brought like Octavia to Lululand and doesn't notice that her terrified ass like screaming and crying. He thinks that's joy. Like, are you that dense? Like, really? Are you like a like? Are you like? Are you crazy? Like, are you serious? You saw your kid screaming and crying and went, "Oh yeah, she's having a great time." Like, are you serious? You know? Like, it's not cute. It's not like a cute dumb naivete. Like, no, it's creepy. Like of how like dense he is with people's emotions. Like, holy shit. How do you not recognize this? Uh, uh.
eh, they wanted to make him sympathetic, and Lululand did a great job of trying to make him empathetic, but he did not keep up with his daughter in seeing stars. Oh, everyone's saying how like, hello, Octavia, your dad was looking for you, was searching for you all throughout LA, and I'm like, shut that
No.
down. Stop rewriting history. No, the fuck he wasn't. We all watched the episode. He was at that film lot, and who was looking for Via the entire time? Luna, Blitz's daughter. I don't care what they say about Blitz. He is a suffocating dad, but God bless it, he is a fine dad.
Yeah. I think he's the only good dad in this entire like show itself.
It's not even worth trying, and it's like it's a low bar.
Yeah. Like it just sucks. It's so I don't like Luna. Everyone just really is out against Blitz so fucking hard. I get it. He's like a dick. I get it. He like hurts some people, whether intentionally or not. But he's not a malicious person. I don't really think he deserves as much shit as he gets thrown at him so often. I want him to have his moment of like, no, like screaming at somebody, like, no, like you're wrong too. It's not just me. Like something. He needs to be allowed to scream at somebody, like, no, like I'm. It's like I'm not crazy. It's not just like
Like
him. It's
the
like
first,
on both.
the
Yeah.
first time in a long time, Luna finally gets to speak, and people I hate to see the dogpiling on all the women of like, ah, Luna, look what you did. You messed up. You messed up Blitz. He was already on He was already on nerves this morning, and now you said something about how like, oh, he probably wants to be done with you, and you got him even more of a recluse. Oh my gosh.
Oh god. I just I feel like shit like this unfortunately unintentionally creates this like message and narrative that these type of relationships specifically like Stolas and Blitz is something to like look like achieve in a relationship, like this weird toxicity that it's okay, or like people that are like genuinely like mentally abusing their partners are gonna like take this the wrong way that this is okay to do. because you have a sad life. It's like,
No,
no.
no. If anything, Stolas is not in love. I still full-heartedly believe that he is more so in lust because he doesn't know the first thing about Blitz. And even if they try to be together, what are they gonna do? What realistically, what are they gonna do? They ain't got no
Nothing.
interests, no parallel, no. The only thing they have in common is that, oh, I have a daughter. Oh, so do I. I have a sad backstory. Well, join the fucking club. I have daddy issues. Oh my god, so do I.
Do you think they're gonna like throw some shit in like the apology tour or something of like, oh Blitzy, I've been trying to call you and hang out with you for so long, or like something like out of nowhere, and you've been rejecting me and telling me to fuck off and kill myself. Like they're gonna throw something else. It's like, what the fuck? Where did that come
Because
from?
why would he feel the need to like get to know Stolas more than just like again in the song Blitz was like we have a fine thing going, like I bone him, I get to use the book, and our business stays afloat. It's a fine transaction. So why would he want to take it any further? Like, could you imagine if Blitz was like pimping himself out, but at the time he also had a partner of his own? Then what, Stolas? Then what?
Oh god. Oh god. They're gonna probably get together. It's gonna they're gonna the story's gonna force them to get together. It's
Oh,
gonna be really funny.
there's so much merchandise of them together being cutesy wootsy and all that jazz. I just knew it was gonna happen. I just don't know, why are we dragging it out? Why are we avoiding the inevitable? Why are we purposely making tension? And tension that doesn't make any sense. Why are we here? Just to suffer? Just for the yaoi angst? This isn't even good yaoi angst. I've seen better angsty yaoi.
It's just so unhealthy. There's nothing like positive in their relationship at all. It's not like, oh, they have like their moments or whatever. But even then, like, no, like your whole quote unquote relationship is based on like coercion and unfortunate, like whether intentionally or not. Like everything just is so icked when laid out of like, no, Stolas, you initiated the deal with each other to be like sexual
Mm-hmm.
from the start, and you asked them explicitly this like you asked them like to agree to this deal in a situation where you're not stupid, like you can hear that Blitz can't focus on what's going on because he's okay, like literally getting shot at. Like he just half agreed, he didn't fully agree to this. It's not something that he like agreed because he like wants to. He literally is just because he needs this for his job. But the thing is, the show. I hate the show like to a degree of like this the continuity they took in this. Like, oh, this book is so important. Okay, and like this book is the only thing that could open up portals to the human world. Then tell me why is Stella so able to open portals to the human world or whatever back and forth without the use of the fucking book? You completely threw out the point of the book from the start. He doesn't need it. He clearly doesn't need the book. You could just be a nice person and let Blitz go to the human world or whatever because you can. You clearly
Also,
don't need it.
not to mention the Osmodian crystals. I believe like Mad Munchkin, another creator on YouTube, made a great video talking about how the introduction of Osmodian crystals also breaks kind of no, it makes a crack in the world building of the emphasis of the book is less important because we know there's other means of getting to and from the human world from hell. Osmodian crystals. Also, I need Osmodius to really check his, I don't know if his underling, not his boss. It still is not his boss. His underling, and let him know, yo, you are not in love with her in straight up lust. I should know, as the king of lust who is actually in love, you are in lust.
It's so Stolas, I don't think is ever gonna get like any back smack back. He's just gonna be like gonna have like a little smack on the wrist and that's it.
No,
He's never
not
gonna
enough
win.
consequences. I hate it.
Like this episode could have really taken at all the opportunity of Blitz just sitting his ass down. Like, no, you fucking listen to me. Anything. And like I said earlier, like he could have brought up like, no, I was purchased to be your friend. You need to fucking acknowledge that. Like something, like make it interesting, because then it would have been like something like, oh my god, like I'm so sorry, I had no idea, anything. But even like if he was told, I don't even think he'll like. I feel like it might come up, and even if it does, it's just gonna be brushed aside so fast. Like, oh, and that's my fault that you were purchased, Blitzy. Like,
It's your fault. It's your daddy's fault. It's your fault. Okay, yes, Blitz initiated the whole, oh, okay, I'll just be a little flirtsy back so I can get the book. But
mhm.
his intention that night was for the book. He didn't intend to sleep with Stolas. Not his intention at all. Ah, it's your fault, you fucking bird.
You bird.
Man, I love this show. I love this show so much. It doesn't make me bored. I'd rather feel angry than bored.
I just yeah,
I've
like
I've never hated a character more than I hate Stolas. And it's like I hate how he is being written. I hate how like the only saving grace about this man is his voice actor. His voice actor is bringing in 100%. It's like, aw, I want to feel bad for you. I don't like the character you play, but you're okay. I bet. I hope.
it's just a big old mess. Oh god. I like oh my god. It's just a big old kerfuffle. I don't know. I just they strayed so far from like the initial like pilot like synopsis, like which is fine, but I just kind of wish that there's at least some elements that stuck, you know. Because now I'm just watching a fan fiction. Like, it's boring. Like, this is not
Like,
interesting.
this is becoming the fan fiction spin-off of what the original premise of like Hitman in Hell. Like
Hmm.
I don't know. Like at the beginning, it was a little interesting because it was a little spice, but now because they're leaning into it more heavily with the whole Stolas thing and Blitz, and I think I heard how there's gonna be merch drops after each episode for this stuff. So it's like, oh my gosh, really wringing it dry. Cool, it helps fund the show and whatnot, but makes the merch being dropped more frequently less special.
Yeah. Oh god. This whole, like, show's a mess. I just you could like Stolas. Like us saying this, like it's not saying that you can't be a fan of Stolas or Blitz or whatever the ship or whatever. Like we can't. We're not telling you what you can and can't like. That's stupid. It's just I just get irked when people are really trying to justify these like really shit actions in some manner with either or of like, oh, Blitz deserves all the hate. Like, yeah, like he is an ass. Yeah, Stolas is a woo. Like, oh, he's such a sad boy. Oh, poor boy. Like, no, he doesn't deserve this. Like sweet talk shit. He's unintentionally a shit person. He needs to be like, we call it condemned for it. Something, some sort of
Yes.
punishment. Not even
The lack
punishment.
of consequences for their actions in the show, and it's just now starting to like domino effect. It is becoming a mess at this point. See, I feel like the second half of season 2 is going to be something much different. It's definitely much different than the first half. I feel like I'm watching it, like, even with the Cherubs, between the Cherubs and the Stolas A and B plot, I feel like I was watching two entirely different shows.
God. It's yeah. I don't know. I'm not super excited for the next episode or whatever the hell it's gonna be. It's it just feels like it keeps getting worse and worse. I don't know. It's not getting better. I don't care a crap about the damn cherubs. They're just I don't bother. They're a waste of potential. I think, in my opinion. I don't know. They're okay. Yeah, it's just a big old mess. And I just pray for Octavia's sake that she can get out of this whole situation or something unscathed. Like, I don't know.
Best case
Just
scenario for her, honestly, if Stolas wants to be all lovey-dovey with it, with like the imp, fine. Leave if it's like stop making promises to your daughter and stop that you're just gonna keep breaking. All right, it's one thing to say that, oh, I'll try. You're not making progress. Not try harder, be better. Okay. If
it's
Via leaves, I'm gonna be rooting. I'm gonna be like, yeah, girl, get out of there.
like he's not really giving enough effort, and the only time I saw that you see that he does, it's just the smack in the face. Oh, Ria, I see you're upset because I'm openly cheating on your mother and also in front of you and stuff. Oh, I think I'll take you to Lululand. Who am I bringing? The boyfriend that I'm cheating on your mother with, and I'm gonna aggressively flirt with him in front of you. All of a sudden, like, oh, Ria, why are you upset? Are you serious?
Are you dumb? Are you just dumb?
Like, are you
No
that
shit.
dense? Like, are you kidding me?
The
Like,
more this owl's in the show, the more it just keeps getting dragged down.
God.
I'm
Also,
s-
like,
yeah.
what is Stolas's job? Because does he
I don't
really
fucking
need the
know.
book?
Studying the stars or some
Like,
shit. He did that thing in the Harvest Moon Festival, showing them the stars. Something about the damn stars
like,
prediction. I don't know.
they don't really explain what his deal is. Like, does he really need the book to do all this shebang shit? Because all he does is just kind of sit in space and like look at the pretty stars, and that's it. I don't think you really see him do anything. That's kind of it. Like, he doesn't need the book. He just kind of sits around, just like tapping his fingers, waiting for his big dick Blitzy to come save him. Like,
Especially if he only needs the book like once a month. It's like, what are you doing for the rest of the month? You're not attending meetings. What do you do? What do you do? What are you in charge of? Well, you just got this big ass castle you're sitting in, doing nothing on your feathered, pompous ass.
basically, yeah. Again, they would have like a little bit of sympathy if they even portrayed that he was like understanding of like imps and shit, and cared about them. Like, oh no, Reginald, you don't need to do anything. Hey, it's okay. Anything. But no, they fuck around with imps like it's nothing. They squeeze them like a stress toy. They throw them at the wall. They don't care. How am I supposed to
No.
care about this guy suddenly going, oh yeah, I care about him so much when all you do is treat them like shit? Granted, you don't know who they are, but even still, like, a smidgen. Like, come on. Like, you can't have it both ways. You clearly don't see imps as anything other just than like little guys, little toys and treasures that you could fuck around with. Like,
Such a hypocrite. I cannot wait to see how they try to spin it in Apology Tour. Like, I can wait because, oh man, I was really just lax waiting for this episode. Like, I'm not in a hurry. It'll come when it comes. Y'all are gonna talk about it anyway, so people are gonna be talking about this for the next month anyway, so it'll get here when it gets here.
it's God. Uh,
Ah,
yeah, it's yeah.
I'm
I
just
don't know.
so afraid of all the gaslighting and like victim blaming Blitz is gonna go through of like, oh Blitz, you're afraid to let anyone in. That's why you didn't want to stay with the bird. Yeah, you don't want to stay with anyone who even likes you. And let's like forget how you feel about the situation. Let's not hear your side of the story. That's not who cares. Like, oh Stolas, you gotta be there for Stolas. Meow, meow, meow. Even fan comics, even fan works, like awesome work, cool and all, but like even the way they write it, it's like, oh, the victim blaming. It's like, sir, you should be with Stolas because he likes you, and it's like, what about Blitz? What he wants?
Like, no one thinks about that. It's all just about Stolas because they portray him as an ooh baby. that's like, oh, he's just a soft little guy, you know. He just fell hard for a guy, you know. He's just a soft dude. Like he just fell in love. You gotta feel bad about it. Like no, that's
Boo
the thing. Like
fuckity
Blitz
hoo.
doesn't owe him shit. Like just because
Really?
you like him doesn't mean he has to be with you. Like he, and if he, do, I feel like if they do get together, Blitz internally, he's just doing it out of pity. Like he doesn't like care. Obviously, he shouldn't have to. He shouldn't be put in any position to be pressured into getting with him just because
Mm-hmm.
like Stolas likes it or whatever. But they really want to paint that narrative like, oh, but he needs him. So Blitz has to do it out of obligation. He doesn't have to do anything. No, he doesn't.
So what I'm hearing is if someone likes me, I should be obligated to like them back, no matter like what they did to me, what they put me through, and they don't even listen to my side of the story. No, 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 no. They're sad, so therefore I'm their savior. I'm their saving grace. No, fuck off. Fuck off.
Like it's just gross because I've kind of TMI, but like I've had relationships like this, so that's why I'm just
Hmm.
like it's just more upsetting. Of like, damn, why are you going this route? That's so bad. That's such a bad message to give. Like, like you should stay with said person because you feel guilty or because like they're sad and they think they need you. Like no, like if you're unhappy, you have the right to not want to stay. You shouldn't be like pressured into staying just because the other person's going, hey, you're my only friend or whatever the hell. Like that's silly.
Like maybe start over, like okay, let's actually just be friends and I can maybe help you find someone, because isn't like Stella supposed to get like some sort of boyfriend or something?
Is he? Is
No,
he?
people say like that red bird from the trailer is supposed to be like his boyfriend, or he's gonna be his boyfriend.
I
I
thought
don't
that
know,
was
I
his
don't even
brother. I thought that was
uh,
his brother. He looks
if it
exactly like him. It's
honestly,
such a
all the birds in this series kind of look the same. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes deeper than that. But
oh
you
god.
two might be brothers or lovers. I don't care. I don't know. I don't judge. But I think it's so weird. I don't know where people are getting this information that like the red bird is gonna be like his lover or something. Like, let him move on. This is not a BoJack. This should have been a BoJack Horseman situation where, we're just both messed up people. We shouldn't even be together.
Really? It just I
And
don't know.
you can really see the BoJack Horseman influence, but backwards.
It's just a mess. It's just a mess. And again, like the only reason I have such a strong reaction with it is because it's like you have the potential. It's right there, but then you fuck it up. You throw it all away just for some like cheap, like gay, like gay dude shit, gay sex shit. I don't know. I don't know. I just hate it. And like, oh, no matter how much fan art you show me, it doesn't change my view on it. It makes it worse, honestly. Because as much as the art is good, fantastic, I noticed like besides Stolas and shit and whatever, a lot of fan art with these shows kind of just ignore how they actually behave in the show with each other, dynamic wise,
Oh,
toxic
definitely.
wise, over like
Definitely,
okay,
definitely.
like it's so cute, yes, cute soft stuff, but that it's either cute soft or just straight up raw, like raw raunchy shit, and it's really sad. Like I'm sick of like it's only being raunchy. Like honestly, a lot of the Vaggie and like Charlie shit I keep coming across is like either super suggestive or just straight up raunchy. There's nothing really like super soft anymore. And that's like not just with them, it's like a lot of other ships in the show. It's either sex or one little smooch on the cheek. There's nothing genuinely sweet. Like give me something to like work with, please. It
I'm
shouldn't it's not just about sex. Give me
I
genuine
miss
connections.
I genuinely miss the days of pre Hasbin Hotel and just the fan comics of Angel Dust and Alistair, because that was way more than just XXS. Because it was so cute. They were dancing, they were interacting, they went on dates. Where's
Yeah.
that? Where's my fluff? Everyone, yeah, cool. Have your hardcore or softcore do you, but like, where is the dates? That's the cute shit.
no one draws cute stuff anymore, and if it is, it always has like a suggestion, like an undertone, of suggestion shit. It's like, no, just give me fluff, damn it. Let them cuddle without it turning into some like raunchy shit. Let them just be chilled for 1 second. God, like I get the whole show was like, let's make more boning jokes and whatever, but Jesus Christ, please. I just want a smidgen of soft, please. Something to put everything.
Nothing too. Yeah, nothing too hardcore. It doesn't always have to be crazy like that. Like
Yeah.
I think it's because the lack of their dynamics, even in the canon, that people just skip straight to smut.
Yeah. It doesn't really help the show itself. Like, kind of focuses on like sex a lot. Anyway, that's like important, I guess. Everything
Even
gets turned into sex.
Of course it is. Especially after the last show, the warning of this is a rampant horny demon show. Yeah, very very fair warning with that one. But Bree, any other thoughts, opinions of this episode, or where to go with Stolas and Blitz?
God, I think for now I don't think so. Like, if I do, I'll probably just say like more shit on my Twitter. But I'm not excited for what's to come because I have a strong feeling where it's gonna go, and I'm just gonna be upset either way. But yeah, I don't know what it's. Yeah, but yeah, thank you for letting me come and like spout my shit about the show. You know, but yeah,
Thank you. Thank you for joining me, and also thank you for this beautiful piece. Ah, the thumbnail is look great. I know you're like still in the process of making it now, but like I'm gonna
yeah.
use it as a thumbnail up for this video. It's gonna look awesome and it's gonna be hilarious. I feel so vindicated. I was a day one Stolas hater. I
Uh,
have no regrets.
yeah, I think I just finished the thumbnail actually, so I'll send that to you. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okie
So,
dokie.
dear Stolitz shippers, I'm sorry it didn't work out the way it did, or if you're happy, cool.
Mhm.
Dear Stolas fans, sorry, not sorry. Dear Blitz fans, I'm right there with you. He
Yeah,
deserves better.
for real. Holy crap.
But hey, at the end of the day, it's a funny little cartoon. It's not world ending. It's
Mhm.
let's not take it too seriously against other people's opinions, because that's what
Yeah.
it is. If you agree with us, cool. If you don't agree with us, also cool. You're very welcome to leave your paragraphs in the comments.
Yes.
And
Like this.
I will leave Bree's Twitter and such in the description and such. Make
Thank you.
sure to give her a follow.
Blushes. Thank you kindly. Okie
Yeah.
dokie.
uh,
Yeah.
But in the
Alright.
meantime, we are done and outsy.